background noise.
Okay, let me see if I can turn up my microphone volume. Is this better? Can you
Yes,
hear me
much
better?
better. Yes, yes. Excel, if you can monitor the comments for us, so if people have comments or questions, you can let us know. Would you start by introducing yourself to everyone so they know who you are, what you do?
So yeah, my name is Fola. I'm year 13. I'm applying to law this year, and I'm an aspiring corporate solicitor. So I also work at Technis Academy as a tutor. And throughout the year, I've been to many different work experiences. I've work experience this October with the Supreme Court and the law firm in London. So I've been really trying to push hard to go as far in this career as early as possible. And I'm just here to speak to you today about careers and how you can advance as early as possible.
Wow, amazing. You're power packed, aspiring corporate solicitor.
Yeah.
How did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
So I think from young, I've always loved debating. I've always loved talking. I've always loved writing. And when I think the key thing I really researched what this career is, because I also love business as well. So a corporate solicitor is a lawyer that will help like manage a business through mergers, acquisitions, and all the financial side of the business basically. So I've always loved business and finance, and I've always loved writing, arguing, debating. So I feel like this career was the kind of perfect match. And through research and through going to events, it just confirmed this passion. So that's how I landed on this career.
Amazing. You are in year 13, but then you mentioned earlier that you've already worked in Supreme Court and you mentioned somewhere else.
Yeah, so I haven't already worked for this October. Like I have work experience with the
Wow.
Supreme Court, and I also have work experience with HFW, which is a top 20 law firm in the UK. So I've just been applying, and by God's grace, I've got these opportunities lined up.
Amazing, amazing. What you haven't also told us in your introduction is that you are the head boy for your school.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you got there.
Yeah, so last year during year 12, we had like an election. You had to present yourself and if you wanted to take this role. So I've of course put myself forward throughout my school career. I've kind of been building towards this. Like the role was kind of destined for me. So we the whole school had to vote, teachers included, and we had to have interviews. And thankfully I got the role. And I have to give speeches for the school. I have to attend events, lead events. And it's been tiring, but it's very fulfilling role. And I'm happy I got to experience leadership so early.
Amazing. So not only are you a student, you're also the head boy doing all of these activities for your school. You're also a tutor at Technis Academy. You're also chasing all these big dreams. I know that you are aspiring to go to Oxford. You want to be a corporate solicitor. You're a very, very busy young man. So if someone is in year 8 right now, looking at you, Fola, and all the students at Technis that you work with really do look up to you and they really, really do admire you. So let's give a scenario of a year 8 boy who's looking up to you thinking, Fola is legend, Fola is top man. I want to be like him, but I have no clue what I want to do. So, what advice would you be giving to that child and that child's parents on how to start, where to start, when to start? Just give us all the lowdown.
So I think if you're in year 8, you're gonna start seeing what skills you gravitate towards more. So say for example, you're a very mathsy person, you love maths, you love problem solving. It would be smart to then start looking into engineering or looking into finance. But of course, year 8 is quite early, but I think it's never too early to know your skills, know your unique selling point, and know where you're stronger than others. I think that's where you want to build your skills. And then as the years go on in year 9, year 10, that's when you really start researching the careers. So I think it's time to start building your skills. This is my strong point. This is my weak point. Those strengths you want to really develop then. So if you're good at maths, become the best at maths. Because the more better you are at a subject, the higher the pay, the better the career you can get. So with your strengths, develop those strengths heavily. So you're really standing above the crowd in a sense. So I think just really identifying your strengths now as your 8 person, and then when you're going to year 9, year 10, it's more about researching the career, I would say.
Wow. So year 8, develop your strengths, work more on your strengths. Year 9, you'd say even in year 8, do some research about the kind of careers you can get within your strengths.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then I think year 10 is where there's work experience opportunities are actually there. Like people, I'm even I even feel behind because I only really started in year 11 and year 12, which is when I mainly got a lot of these programs. But the amount of programs that are available for year 10s, some hospitals will allow year 10s to volunteer. Some law firms offer 5-year programs from year 10 to the end of university. You're basically already in the pipeline then. You've basically already got your job secured. Year 10 is when you need to start looking for these opportunities. There's many different platforms that I can even share a few so we can share to the rest of Technics Academy students. But year
Yes,
10, there's too many opportunities. You really cannot be missing out.
wow. You talked about 5-year law firm,
Yeah.
5-year law firm opportunities right from year 10. Some people
Mhm.
don't even know what they want to do at that point. So you're saying there are programs available. So these 5-year, tell us a little bit more. So would that mean that this child would stop going to school, or would it mean they won't go to sixth form, or they won't go to university? What does it entail?
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's like so. Say for example, in year 10, you have your half terms, you have your summer experiences. These law firms will invite you. Most law firms they earn money, so they even pay you. And when I say pay you, good money. So from year 10, you'll be having work experience. You probably have a mentor from that firm that will be telling you about how to develop in a career in that field. And I personally know someone who's on a program with a firm like that. And if I had work experience in year 10, year 11, year 12 with that firm, and basically, they're probably going to be guaranteed a job at that firm after university. But they've had so much work experience. They know the people there. And it doesn't hinder with your school work at all. It'll just be during the half term and Easter break and Christmas break. So it's honestly like it's brilliant opportunities that are available.
And how do we get young people involved in this? Where do they go to find all these opportunities?
Genuinely, you just have to search. It's quite hard to see at the surface because, of course, a lot of these opportunities are quite niche. You have to search, and I would say one place that you really have to, that everyone has to download is LinkedIn. Can't stress it enough. I know people just throw the app about, but like it's a very important app to have. You can really search up, say for example, you're a year 10 student and you know what firm you want to work in or what hospital you want to work in. You can type in the hospital name, go to people, and you'll see people who are currently working there. You can just send them a message, ask them, I'm in year 10. How can I get to your position? Your network is honestly your net worth. You have to ask the people who you aspire to be how to get there.
Okay, so what you just said now, your network is your net worth, is something that I didn't know until my 40s. This is something you already know as a 17, 18-year-old. How old are you now, Fola?
17.
Oh my God, I'm just super, super amazed for you. I'm just literally in awe of you. This is something that I didn't know, I didn't tap into network being your net worth until my 40s. But you already know all of these things. This is amazing. So you've talked about LinkedIn. So are you saying a year 8 or year 9? Because you probably wouldn't want to wait until year 10 before you're doing all of this research. You want to do it in advance. So are you saying a year 8 or year 9 student can get a LinkedIn profile?
Why not? Like, honestly, why not? It'll probably even be better to start earlier because and one thing to say, people may say for year 8 or year 9 is getting LinkedIn, people may discourage saying, oh, you're doing this too early. Ignore them. Ignore them. It's never too early to message people to get ahead. I'm even saying there's programs in year 10. There may be programs in year 9, year 8. I don't even know the full extent of it. But all I know is that a lot of these careers, any career, medicine, finance, law, the pipeline starts early. The earlier you're in the pipeline, the better chance you have to secure a high paying job after university. So why not start? Why not start messaging these people? Get a 5-year plan. Say if you're in year 8 and you message someone that's in year 13 or in university, you can map up a 6-year plan of what you're going to do each year to get to that opportunity. So genuinely, why not? It's never too early to start this, to be honest.
Wow, this is super amazing. So I did a video, I haven't posted it yet this week, about how I feel parents, as soon as their children get to secondary school, sometimes there's a little bit of disconnect especially I'm talking about especially about immigrant parents, because they're like, well, I don't understand the school system here, you do what you need to do, you're a good boy, you just carry on. And there's this a little bit of disconnect, and sometimes these kids come up to year 11, and that's when the parents find out that they're really struggling. And they go, oh, but he used to be so good when he was in primary school. He knew what he was doing, but he looks like his nose dived and he doesn't know what he's doing anymore. So, what sort of advice would you give to parents, especially immigrant parents who are not used to the educational system in the UK, don't have a clue where to start, how to go, what to do to support their children? What would be your best advice for them?
I think they have to make sure their children are keeping themselves accountable. My mom personally, honestly, even from year seven, she's always asking, "What do you want to do? How are you getting there? Have you researched?" And like every year, almost almost every week, to the point I was even like, "Leave me alone." But I'm thankful she did it. I'm thankful. They may not understand, but my mom always asks me, "What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean?" Even though parents may not understand, their children will understand. Their children have nowhere to hide. They're in the system. They know what's going on. So their children must communicate what is going on, what they want to do, what their career is, and must keep them updated. I think
Hmm.
parents have to be persistent, constantly keep on asking. Because your children will know they may want to hide certain stuff because maybe they're not doing too well at that moment, or maybe they're unsure. But that can't be the case. Full transparency. Originally, my mom wanted me to do medicine, but I knew in my heart I wanted to do law. And we had the conversation. We're transparent. I showed her that I want to do law. Here's my step-by-step goal. And she saw that I was dedicated. So she was fine with me switching careers. It's all about communication, communication, communication. Can't stress that enough. You have to be transparent with each other.
Wow. So you picked on a really important point there where parents are wanting their child to do one thing, but then the children are wanting to do the other. I honestly think there should be a real balance between this. Being a Nigerian British mom, I kind of get both sides and I try as much as possible to keep a balance. Majority of our immigrant parents are very ambitious because they came to this country because they want the best for their children. So they're thinking, oh, I want my daughter to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, all those big jobs, to be an engineer. But then the child might have absolutely no interest in it. In fact, a child might decide, I want to go and study German. And now this is where there's got to be a bit of balance where the child, you've mentioned research a lot today, the child and the parent need to go and do research. If you go and do German, which is what you're claiming your interest, where your interest lies, what are the career opportunities along that route? Are you sure the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, that German degree will sustain it? What kind of salary are you going to get from that job? What kind of roles will come out of that kind of course? So you need to be realistic. And when you research is when you're able to know, okay, you know what? I actually thought I liked German, but maybe not. Yes, my mom wants me to do medicine, but it's never been my. But then if your mom is suggesting something and he aligns with what you want to do, hear them out. Don't just say because it's mom and dad saying it, immediately, oh, they just can never get. They're not Gen Z, they're not Gen Alpha, so I'm not going to listen to them. So there's got to be this balance where parents and kids listen to each other, and parents don't just dictate and say, this is the course I want you to go and do, just go and do it. Any
No,
thoughts?
honestly, I fully agree because even if I have friends that are like that, when I'm talking to them, they're disagreeing with their parents and saying, "Oh, my mom wants me to do this, but I don't want to do that." Do you have a plan?
Mm.
You can't just disagree for disagreeing's sake. If you disagree and have something else you want to do and you have a set plan and you've spoken to your parents and told them their set plan, then of course that's a different conversation. But like you said, if someone's just saying, I want to do this career, but there's no pay, we're all here to be successful, we're all here to get to the top. So there's no point doing the career, there's no point doing the degree where you may have fun, but you're not going to be able to have a sustainable lifestyle as you said. So I couldn't fully agree more. There has to be that balance between listening to your parents and also following your passion but having a plan as well.
Amazing. I'm just making notes of all of these things you're saying. We're all here to be successful and we're all here to reach the top of our career. I'm just going to pinpoint really quickly on purpose, finding your purpose, finding what you absolutely enjoy doing. But sometimes that doesn't happen until you try, until you put your hands in a few things and find out what your passion and your purpose is. Whoever is living in their purpose in terms of their career, I've won it in life. You've won it absolutely in life, because if you follow your passion and purpose, not just passion alone, the purpose, and I'm talking about what God has really created you in life to do. And sometimes you start off with your career, and that's not actually your end point. That's not what your purpose is going to be. Maybe it's from that career you then find another niche of what God really wants you to be doing. So passion, then purpose, and once you get into that purpose, you've won it in life, because every day is not never going to be like a work day. It's going to be like you're living your dream. You're doing what God has ordained you to do. But if you don't explore, you don't start by finding out what you want to really do, what your passion is. You don't own in on what your strengths are. You don't actually go and do a research. You don't explore all of those things. You might never find your purpose in life. So let's talk about universities. I know you're aiming to go to top university, which is Oxford. So what is the plan, and what advice would you give maybe your younger self, year 7, year 8, in terms of preparation, getting into a top class university like Oxford?
Yeah, I would just say grades, grades. I can't stress it enough. And of course, I performed very well in my GCSEs, almost got all nines.
Tell us
And
what
it
you
was
got. Don't
yeah,
don't don't cover it. Shout
yeah,
it. Let them
yeah.
hear what you got for your
Yeah.
GCSEs.
Yeah, so my GCSEs, I got 8 grade 9s, I got 1 grade 8, and I got 1 grade 7. I'm pretty sure it was second or tied highest in my school that year.
In your
I think
entire
second
school,
highest. Yeah,
you were the second highest. Your grade was the second highest in the whole of your school.
in the whole
And
of my school.
the grade 9 that you got, just for parents who are going to watch this or who are watching this, grade 9 is not a grade. Grade 9 is not a star. Grade 9 is a double star. And grade 9 is only top 5% of the entire country are awarded grade 9. I just wanted people to understand where you're coming from. And you got how many of those grade 9s?
I got 8.
8 out of the 10 subjects that he did. 8 of them were a double star. One of them was a star. And then the last one is A. All his grades are A and above. I just thought I'd let you know. We only have 10 minutes left, but carry on, please.
Yeah.
So about universities.
So grades. I went to an event at Oxford, and they literally said flat out, the better grades you have, the better chance you have. It's honestly simple. So if you're in secondary school, make sure you do the best on those GCSEs as you possibly can. And with a lot of these experiences that I've gotten, because in summer thankfully I got accepted to a free summer school at Oxford and Cambridge. The reason why I got into those programs is because I had top grades. The grades will unlock everything for you in sixth form. You get into these law firm programs, you get into these medicine volunteering programs. It shows recruiters that you're an academic student. They can perform under pressure. They can perform to the highest level. Those grades are the foundation. It's not everything, but it's the foundation, solid foundation. Grades, that's one thing. Network. I'll say this again. I have 2 mentors who have gone to Oxford that I meet with monthly, that I've met with monthly since year 12, that have been helping me with every step of my application, my exam that I took yesterday for law. Like people need to realize that people are available to help. Like they like seeing young people who are eager, who are enthusiastic. You message someone saying, I need advice. I want to get into this top university. Can you help me? They will be thankful. They want to give back. Like honestly, this generation is a nice generation. They really want to give back. So you really have to network. And I would say the fan thing is envision where you want to be. Like I've genuinely dreamed of getting to this top university. I genuinely dreamed of becoming a solicitor, and I really dreamed, and it's really motivated me to do everything I can. Don't leave anything out on the table. Tire yourself out if it means you can get to this later goal that you want.
Say that
Really,
again. Say what you just
I'll
said.
tire yourself out if it means you can get to this later goal you want. Because even though honestly, this term has been tiring, it's been stressful, but I've just had in my mind that I know what I want to be, and it will all be worth